Let's get going here. Starting an hour early tonight and gonna go longer. It's gonna go at least 2 hours. Maybe longer than that. I do like to talk, so let's see. Let's first get my links in the chat. Reload. Verify that we have audio. Reload. Verify that we have audio. And we do. Message just popped up that you can now customize timeouts for people that you block. Interesting. Like you can do it from like 5 minutes, I think, which is the normal amount, and then like you give them another chance, and then or up to 24 hours, and that still doesn't ban them forever. I guess I did not know that. I just saw a message about that. Okay, put my links in the chat, and then we'll get going here on the content. Let's see, what can I talk about that would be extra while we're waiting? If you're bored, just skip ahead a minute or so. Trying to think, everything I want to talk about, within the confines of the show. Extra reminder, I guess, there will be a Ramsey show after show on Tuesday, the 19th. So just 3 short days from now. So check that out. Alrighty. So yeah, when you see me looking back and forth like that, I mean I'm copying from one screen and I'm pasting it on another screen. Alrighty, so I guess let's go. Live from Cabot, Arkansas, it's Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. This is the 50th one of these, and I started doing these on the weekends, Saturday nights mostly. And because I used to be able to do the after show every day, but now I work during the day, during the Ramsey show, at a job I cannot do the after show from. And so I started doing this show, which is a once weekly show. And maybe I'll start doing it twice a week. Maybe. It depends. We'll see how it goes, especially when Curse of Oak Island is on hiatus. Might do that. Alrighty, so oh yeah, happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to all and everyone. Try to make a little bit festive here. Got the tree in the background. I have the lights up in the upper portion of the screen for added enjoyment. Let me get my plugs. They are in the chat in front of your face right there on the left side of the screen and in the video description. I'm Coach D Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment, no strings attached, promise. Calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's CALENDLY.com/Coach Steve Money. That is a video conferencing appointment, so you do not need to be in the same city that I'm in, or even the same state, or even the same country. How about that? Technology is marvelous. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, or that's on your mind, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations, you can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. The upcoming streams, as I said, Ramsey Show After Show, approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Normally runs a couple minutes after that. Whenever the Ramsey Show that day ends on YouTube. Ramsey Show video ends at it's like 6:03 Eastern Time, and then I will start the after show. This show, of course, Ramsey Coach, Saturdays, normally 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I started an hour earlier tonight because I was excited, and I like to talk. What else do I want to say? One more. About prop programming. Not a live stream, but Oak Island, Curse of Oak Island no cap recaps are every Tuesdays for the new episode, Tuesdays late night. And for older episodes, I'm still working on season 5. I have season 1 through 4 and 9 and 10 done. And so I'm doing 5 through 8, still working on those. And those will come out just as I have time, at least one a week usually, if not 2 a week, and I do multiple episodes in one video for that. Alrighty, so that's enough plugs. That's how long have we done? 7 minutes now on just plugs. Excellent. All right, but I think that's it. So how about we get to content? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. So I put a post in the community tab. And thanks to everybody. In the past few weeks, the channel has reached 700 subscribers, 250,000 views, and over 2,000 watched hours within the past 365 days. I've got over 8,000 hours watched during the channel lifetime. And again, thanks so much to the Okies, the Baby Steppers, and everyone else that spent time on this channel. I truly appreciate your interest and support. Thank you so very much. I liked it, of course, and 2 other people liked it. So thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. All right, so, and there's our live stream going on right now. Also Tuesday on the Ramsey Show After Show, it will be if you scroll down, you can see my music playlist, and I have a bunch of Ramsey adjacent songs in there. I'm not affiliated with them. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, but I do not work for them or even with them. Unfortunately, would love to. Do not. But we have the George Camel song, Lifestyle Creep song, Baby Steppin' song, one of 2 songs about the baby steps, Jade Warshaw song, the Rachel Cruz song, and some of these are just snippets of songs, but I've expanded it. I had for the George Camel song, I had a verse, like a half a verse, and the chorus is all I used to do for George Camel. I expanded that into a complete song and finally recorded it. That wasn't even on here. And so that is a full song. And Rachel Cruz song, I just had a little bit of that. And that entire new song, expanded song, full song, will debut on the after show on Tuesday, and then of course I'll clip that and put that here in the music playlist to give you a little taste of that. I normally don't sing on this show except maybe if something occurs to me, an a cappella moment or 2, but I'll do a little bit of music with this part. This is just a little snippet. This is what it is. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, for good advice that she learned in her youth. Okay, and that's good enough. Don't want to get copyright flagged for that on this particular program. Some of the ones where I do songs on them, where I do like more of the song, like more than 30 seconds. I think might be the amount of time, but it is flagged. But all of it is doesn't count as a strike because all the copyright holders do allow for their content to be used on YouTube. So I don't know how that works for money, but it doesn't matter because I'm not monetized yet. Anyway, so and if they're getting money off of it, great. We also have not only the John Deloney song, which isn't quite a full song, but there's a lot of instrumental in that too, where it just ended it before the instrumental part. And me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. And of course the original Baby Steps song is in here as well, which I don't do that much. Maybe I'll do that one. I normally do the Baby Steppin' song, which is to Dua Lipa's Levitating. Maybe I'll do that one on Tuesday. Okay, so again, 11 minutes of plugs. Fun times for you guys. Oh, let me go back to the... Alrighty. Oh, we wanted to do content, didn't we? Okay, so before I start, I just wanted to mention market recovery ahead of schedule. It's supposed to be at a new high every 5 years. And as you can see, previous high, December, where's that? Come on. One more. There we go. January 14, 2022, previous high, and got up to a new one on Friday. It did it before that as well, but then it went up again. I think Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that, but it kept going up. And the S&P, almost there. Let's go to max. Almost there for the S&P. And the NASDAQ went down more during the crash, as it were, or the downturn. And so that still has some more to catch up to, but not that much. $14,813, and the high was $16,057. So still got a little bit more to get back for that, but well ahead of schedule because it's only been, especially in the NASDAQ, it's only been November 19th, 2021, and it's a little bit over 2 years and 1 month. So that's going well. While I'm on here, what else do I want to do? Oh yeah, so I wanted to explain about the crypto. Now, I'm not a genius or a market projector or anything like that. This is just my opinion based on what I think the crypto bros mentality is, and we getting several people in the Ramsey Show chat recently that are like, I mean, but always since it became a thing, always buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going crazy, dude, or whatever they say. I don't know. But so they're looking at this 1 year and basing their whole deal off of this 1 year. So this past year, great. You bought there. Hey, you made money if you cash out now. So, so you can see that what's happening in 5 years. Let's send it out to the max. So you can see it. So, but the problem is this. So I feel like, I mean, not all of them, obviously, not all people in any situation, but not all of the people are like this. But I think most of the people that buy the coin have more of a day trader mentality than a saving for retirement mentality. And so you can see the rise up. Certainly it happened, and then down, then back up. I mean, down, up, and ups and downs happen in the stock market as well. But for here, so it went up to a high, and then people cashed out, crashing it. And then it came back up half fairly quickly, and then eventually got back up to a new high within 8 months. And then guess what? Crypto bros cashed out again, crashing it. So I think you'll have that kind of activity a lot, and so that really means you have to time it in order to make money. Example, if you bought here and you didn't cash out and you held on to it through this high and you didn't cash out at all, didn't cash out at all here, didn't cash out at all here. So unless you're buying in here too, you're not making any money yet. You're still quite a ways down. So that's the dealio on that. And so it's just the mentality that you have. And it just doesn't have that long of a track record yet in order to tell what's going on with it. And you cannot look at it 1 year of any stock or mutual fund or anything like that and say, oh, well, it's going to do this forever or most of the time. You can't say that because it doesn't have the track record. The stock market has 100 years, something like that, of track record. So, and that's different than going by just this 1 year. All right, so that's mine. And again, you can do what you want. I have a friend that has some, not Bitcoin, but a different brand of crypto. And I think he's had it 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. And it is still not back up to where he bought it at. So he's still not even. He's hanging in there, though, and hoping it'll come back. Alrighty, so we talked about that. Don't think I'll leave that up in case I need to talk about the market anymore, in case there's some questions about the market. All right, and so this is the meat of the Ramsey plan. As it were, these 7 baby steps. Yeah, I got my emperor sleeves happening there. Good. Step 1, save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. I feel like my chair is lower. Come on. Okay, there it is. Save $1,000 for start emergency fund is step 1. Step 2, pay off all debt. Except the house, using debt snowball. And debt snowball means smallest to largest. And that's because of behavior. That's why you don't pay off the high interest rate first, because pay off the smallest amount, because you get stuff paid off and you see wins faster. And for most of us, that is the most motivation to keep doing it. If you start with your highest debt, which might be your highest interest as well, it's going to take years before you get one of those paid off. So that would be why. People want to do math. If you were doing math, Dave always says you wouldn't be in debt in the first place. Step 3, save 36 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Right below that, which is not there, baby step 3B is, that's where you would save for a down payment. If you have a house, a mortgage already, before you start the baby steps, you don't necessarily have to sell it unless you're in trouble financially, unless you bought too much house and it's just taking too much of your money where you're not able to progress on the baby steps in a timely manner. So steps 1, 2, and 3, you do in order, one at a time. And steps 4, 5, and 6, you do in order, all at the same time. So, and those are step 4, you invest 15% of your gross household income into retirement. A lot of people get hung up on a lot of couples get hung up on. They think that 15% of husband, 15% of wife equals 30% of household income. No, 15% of spouse A, 15% of spouse B equals 15% of household. So that's how that works. So each person does have to do 15. Step 5, if you have children, if you would like to help them out, that applies to you, then you save for your kids' college. That doesn't need to have to be some lump sum thing right at the beginning. You can put $20. It depends on how old the kid is. Basically, you can start with what the kid needs, what you would like to help the kid, the amount you would like to help the kid with. When they're 18, when they're going to college, assuming they're not some genius and going at 15. And if they are, hopefully they get appropriate scholarships and such to do that. Grants. So you would start with the amount you need and then work backwards by the number of months before they are 18 than they are now. And so you can also, of course, factor in investing in that as well, and the investing amount. So the amount per month plus the investing. It's math. Is how you do that. If neither one of those apply to you, congratulations, you get to skip step 5. Probably the best baby step to be able to skip is step 2. So if you don't have any debt, you've already paid off your debt, but when you start the baby steps, then that would probably be most people's best one to skip, probably. That's what I'm thinking. And step 6, pay off your home early. A lot of people want to because they have lower interest rates than the market will make. They would like to invest more and keep that mortgage around like it's a pet, and and try to make that extra money. So you get you do 10 to 12% that the market brings average per year, and if you have a 3% mortgage rate, that's great. You think you're making 7. A lot of people forget to subtract the mortgage interest, though, that they will be paying over the life of it. They forget to subtract that from that calculation, and so that's what do they call that? That's blinders math there. And of course, step 7, build wealth and give, which is eternal. Alrighty, so I'll keep this up so we can refer back to that if we get questions for that. Alright, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently today. I have done, in the multiple Ramsey coach shows that I've done recently, and the after shows that I've done. I did one on the December 7th. So I normally we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, not run by Ramsey Solutions, but run by fans. But you get a great mix of questions here for that. And so what I've done is scroll all the way to the bottom. I think they keep 1,000 at a time, and this is 2 months ago. And so I don't get to all of them all the time. And I can tell some of them I just look at and comment without clicking on it, but if I click on it to read the whole thing, it turns light blue, and so that way I know I haven't done them. And so I don't think I've done these. I've done, like this one I've done because it's clicked on. But I will, so I'm going backwards, and so that way I have more questions available for the after show on Tuesday. Alrighty, this from KU_78. It's only 24 minutes in and finally started with the actual meat of the content. Just paid off my student loans. Excellent. Squirreled every payment I would have made into HISA. Oh, what is that? I don't know what that high interest savings account. Okay, high interest savings account. I guess that's probably the same as high yield savings account. All right, during the pandy, So glad that is done with. Only debt besides mortgage is 0 interest loan for. See, this is why I don't prematurely play the Price is Right winning music. So this is why, because the person has 0 interest loan still for a very small amount. If it's a very small amount, why not pay it off and be debt free? So anyway, it's behavior. All right. So that's why no music for you. This is from Lance Coconuts 497. Just finished baby step 2. Excellent. Paid off $80,000 of non-mortgage debt in 3 very, very long years. And that's about what my ex-wife and I did. We did $72K in, I think it was a little over 3 years. So about the same. So excellent job on that. 529 college saving, VC 1914. My wife just had me listen to a pod from Dave, and he said that if the caller invested $10K for 2 to 3 years, it should grow to 100,000 when the guy's child is ready to go to college, which was 18 years. Okay. Can't find a 529 calculator that allowed me to only project a few years of contributions. My old well, so how you do this, and so people a lot of time like to question. They wonder, is Dave's math correct? Well, so let's check it out. So what he's saying is, so you're only doing a couple contributions, so it is more difficult because you're stopping contributions in the middle of it. See, and this is going to ask you the contributions, and you can't put, well, I'm going to put $10,000 over the first 3 years. So what I'm going to do to get around that is, well, first we'll say, let's pretend the guy's 30 and he will be 45 in the 15 years. So at age 30, he will have saved up that $10,000 already. He's contributing that. And so that is making money. So it will be more than $10,000 by that time. It depends on how early he gets of that $10,000 he gets in, as far as how much that will make. So we will just add a little bit to the amount. So that's $10,000, not going to contribute anything else. And let's go with the 10 to 12. Let's go 11. 10 to 12 average per year. And let's see what that is in 15 years. Okay, and they wanted how much? Dave said it would be blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. Grow to $100,000. All right, that looks like it might be a little off. Let's go ahead and give Dave the benefit of the doubt. He might be using 12. And you never know. It could have been, at a better time for the market when that clip just had me listen to the podcast from Dave. So don't know exactly when that was, but this was the post was from 2 months ago. So let's see. So this is not including. So, like, let's say that, can we say it made 1,000? So that would be 11,000 instead after the 3 years, and then you got 15 years. See, that kicks it up considerably. Let's see what we would have to actually have. And then you could possibly do more math and back it down. So that's 2,000. It probably wouldn't make that. So perhaps Dave had a bad math moment, or he was overshooting. I do not know what happened with that. So so it's not quite as optimistic as Dave was saying, and so that's fair. So what would you have to have? So contributions and growth for it to grow this much in 15 years, even at 12%. So it looks like it's going to have to be a little bit more. So I don't know if Dave made a mistake on that. So this is 95. And this will put it way over. Yeah, $101,000. So let's kick it back down to 15. So there's also because you only need to take out what you would be using at the time. You only need to, you don't pay for it all in advance. So it would still get the extra 3 years of growth for the senior year, for example, whatever was left in there. So altogether, I mean, it's going to probably be pretty close. So, but again, it might be slightly optimistic, but you know, it's close enough to make the point. And so if you do your own math, you can say, oh, okay, well, I'll make sure I save $12,000 to begin with. So that's the dealio on that. Dave's a human being. We all make mistakes. And so that can happen. Just want to clear this out in case we need this investing calculator again. It's possible sometimes we get other questions like that want to see what's up. Alrighty. Problem with Dave Ramsey, mutual funds and his smart investor prunes. I did that one already. I think it's something about, what was it? Dave should recommend, kind of maddening that he still recommends mutual funds for investment. He's index-based. The managed mutual funds can make more. You just have to find them. It's not as easy as just buying. If you want to be easy and leave money on the table, that's fine, was the basic answer to that question. When I answered it. Let's see. Conflicting beliefs on building credit. Hi, everyone. I need a little help getting my stepson to understand that he doesn't need a credit card. That's hard to do. Yep, you got biological father involved, friends involved. You got billions of dollars of credit card commercials every single year. Billions. They spend billions on it. And guess what? You know why they spend billions on the advertising? Because it works. They make that money back from you and they make profit on top of that from you. So meet you the cleaner. I get it. Asked my opinion yesterday. Well, that's great. So, and you can just give your opinion. I don't know having credit card is necessary. Yep. No dealing with parents. Yeah, what's the best way to attack this situation? You can just be honest with them and just basically tell them the same thing that I said, is that most people are going to think you need a credit score. You don't. Credit score is only for borrowing money. And so if you're following Dave Ramsey's advice, you're not borrowing money for anything. He won't yell at you for getting a residential mortgage. Meaning a house you live in, not a rental property. Chocolate Milk Atlas, interesting. Selling your stuff on eBay, taxes. Hey, I'm currently selling my extra stuff I don't need on eBay to pay off debt. I heard they changed it so after $600 sold, they send you a tax form. Has anybody experienced this? Should I not immediately put what I make towards my debt? Thank you. It's not going to be that much off of $600. It just depends on how much it is. If it starts getting to be a hefty sum, you should put away, 10% at least of it away. Depends on your tax rate. Because that's going to be on top of it. It also depends on the nature of what it is. Especially if you're taking a loss on it from what you bought it for, that kind of thing. I mean, that's a whole bunch of other paperwork. Like if you're selling a 10-year-old used car, you're not getting as much for it as you paid for it. So there is depreciation on that. And so, that gets a lot, if it's just $600, you can probably cash flow the taxes. Just do the taxes in January or February, and then you have 2 or 3 extra months to save up the difference, to budget the difference and cash flow it. So that's the dealio on that. I'm concerned about Dave Ramsey's program being scripture and Bible based. Well forsaken _thought. It's been scripture and Bible based, also common sense based, for 30 years, and it's still on the air, still one of the top radio shows, yes, radio shows in the colonies here, the United States. And the numbers on YouTube just still keep going up. So you can share your thoughts and experiences. That's great. But the thing is that you can just follow this. I don't see any scriptures mentioned here. Now, some of them are, like the savings. There's like what's that scripture? Something like have stores of stores of wine and something like a bit extra food, basically, is what it's saying. I can't remember it. Sorry about that. I don't know the actual thing. But anyway, what you could do is, if it bothers you that much, you could watch something else, listen to something else. But, or you can go to Reddit and post your opinion on it. I'm going to YouTube and posting my opinion on your opinion. So all good, but maybe just find something that you agree more with. Or you can hate watch it. Hate watch it is great, because guess what? And I would rather you do that, because guess what? That means even though you don't like it and agree with it, that means Dave is still making money off of you. So I prefer that. Cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Baby step 2 to baby step 6 in a week. How? One must always plan you didn't plan ahead, because apparently you either forgot to click the AD or that was the maximum on username. So maybe that's what they're talking about. All right, maybe that's a little too ironic. See, that's how I sing on this show, just that little bit of it. Okay, so 2 to 6. Let's delve in here and find out what the dealio is. Mostly, why did it take me this long? Should I have done it sooner? Post here. Yes, all of us should have done that. There's not a person that should not have. Basically, if you start this as a child, then you avoid taking out debt at all. So you can skip step 2. And if you're saving money as a child, then you have a head start on emergency fund as well. So you're getting up there. And if you have enough, granted, you don't start step 4 as a child. You would assume some kind of money would be needed for education or for training, like trade school or something like that, or a car, or to move out, that kind of thing. So you would have a step up on all that. So definitely. And been listening to Dave for roughly 20 years. Yeah, I've been listening for 30. You think I started I listened to Dave Ramsey every night. Driving from arcade to arcade. I used to fix arcade games back in the 90s. That's right, kids, the 90s. I was alive. I was already old. mid-20s, early mid-20s for the 90s there. And so, yeah, didn't do a darn thing, he said. And like a lot of you probably, a lot of people in the Ramsey Show chat, they say it all the time. They can't relate to the people that call in and they make $100,000. And I get it, because that's why I thought, well, this doesn't apply to me because I don't make much money at all. And so I didn't do it. So very stupidly, but eventually I figured it out. Anyway, been Gazelle Intense and barely Dave-ish, so there's still some Dave-ish happening, I guess, at times. I have saved into my 401k during that time. Very Dave-ish move indeed. And have about 600k in it, right? We were nearing being done with Baby Step 2 in December 20th. We were hit by a tornado. 3 is good. F3 will relocate your house and your finances fairly efficiently. It's from Twister. The movie Twister's coming out this coming year. Sequel. Helen Hunt is in it. Bill Paxton, unfortunately, has passed. The one that's banned from Arkansas to Kentucky to Indiana. That threw us, I'm assuming, in a bit of tailspin, and we backslid and racked up some debt. Okay, you don't necessarily need to take out debt to handle something like that, but that's what happened, so you can't change that now. We received an inheritance of roughly $100,000 last week. Yeah, 100,000. And so that's how you can get from 2 to 6 in 1 week. Yep, that can certainly, the F3 relocated your finances, so did that inheritance. And one probably relocated them much better than the other one did. We paid off all debt. 32K car, 15K credit card. And so when did the 32K car happen? So you not only did debt, but you bought a new car during this time? Yeah, that wasn't smart at all. All right, let's see. Money back in college fund. Oh, you had stolen it, I guess. I moved baby 66. Okay, now 56K on a house that's worth around 300K. Great. All right. Amazing feeling. I do wish we had knocked this out some 25 years ago, of course, when 17K credit debt was the only... Yeah, then you'd be in much better shape for that tornado. Can't imagine what our net worth would be now had we started. Well, again, you can just start with today and start doing stuff correctly. Just wanted to post this to those living Dave-ish. That the peace of mind in the latter baby step stage is amazing. It absolutely is. Thought I hit back there. No, too much. Take me. There we go. Okay, and back. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so let's see. I gotta scroll down again. Darn. All right. So what can I talk about now? Let's see. So a lot of dark blue stuff. That means I probably haven't talked about it. Every once in a while, I won't click on it, and I'll just like look at the title and read a little bit of it to get the gist of it. And so some of these I have talked about, but a lot of times, especially when they're longer and there's more details, I do click on them. Come on. Okay, so next time I do this, I need to have another one ready to go, already scrolled down to the bottom, just in case that happens again. I snow. Actually, I'd be fine without snow. It would be fine without it. I mean, the snow adds the ambiance and such, but when you got to be out in it and got to drive somewhere, that's where it makes it less desirable. I wonder if it'd go faster if I grab the thing there. No, that's taking longer. Oh, if I just do that. Yeah, all right. Or, oh, yeah, if I grab the... Only scrolling through 1,000 of them. Many apologies. I'll try to be more careful with that and give it a second if I click the arrow and it doesn't move right away. All right, there we go. Okay, so which one? Where were we? That one, there we go. So now I've done that one. So yeah. Shadow Dennis, yes, start today is what the person is saying. Did that one. Bi-weekly payments, yes, they are better than monthly payments, because unless that's not going to save you interest, perhaps. But bi-weekly is better. Just like putting in money in the market every week rather than waiting for a month, then you're missing out on the growth in the first 3 weeks if you wait a month to do your contributions. All right. Boom, boom, boom. How Ramsey Solutions uses AI? They likely do, because that's likely that's likely used in marketing a lot to determine stuff. Warm hat 7787. Baby step 3 flare. Baby success story question mark. All right. Baby steps 3 flare here, and that means they paid off all non-mortgage debt and they are saving full emergency fund. Let's see. Wife 27, I 29, currently working the baby steps. You should do the baby steps. That's the original baby step song. I read financial, forgot the end there. Money Makeover, actually is the Total Money Makeover is the name of that book. And we have basically been on step 3 the past year and a half. That's too long or so without realizing it. Oh, okay. Oh, so you weren't doing it and then you applied your life to the steps, which you should do. You should not work the steps around your life. You should work your life around the steps. So a lot of people get confused about that. They think, well, I'll do these, but I'm going to do it differently. And so that's not doing the steps. And so if you don't do it in order, most likely you're going to slow yourself down. Currently wrapping up baby step 3. It's a good time to be wrapping things up, like Christmas gifts. Oh, I just heard, what did I hear today? Meghan Trainor and Jimmy Fallon have a Christmas song out called Wrap Me Up, I think it is. Pretty cool. It's like basically her type of song, but also there's like Christmas music elements in it as well. So pretty cool. With most of our emergency fund in place, we plan to be done by the new year, barring any major setback. Great, make it happen. I'm a teacher and she's a nurse. Teachers, because they have to save for retirement, they don't get a choice. They are in the top, I think they're number 3 in the top 5 professions of millionaires. We have no debt besides our house, and we're well on the way to baby steps 4 through 6, along with our first child arriving in December. Great. Do you remember the 21st night of December? We both drive older vehicles. I'm just having a hard time seeing the payoff to all this frugality. You'll have money for retirement. Is that it? Why is it taking so long? Oh, here we go. Good. Yes, I'm looking forward to investing 15% of my income. Didn't they say they already had some, or that was different? That was a different post that they said they had 600K. Okay, yeah, towards retirement, yes, which our work does match. All right, we even already have plans in place to set aside. Well, the teacher is already doing it. The male, I'm assuming, the 29-year-old, is already doing it because of a teacher, unless it's some teacher where they don't do that, like at Professor X's school. Maybe he doesn't make them do that. We even already have plans to set aside money for kids' college. Okay. Not sure if it's my age or where the disconnect is. Yeah, 29, you're still a baby. So, I don't know either there. I lost 25 pounds, work out and exercise, and you spend less on food generally too, so that's good. So I have the ability to stick to a plan. It's just difficult when a lot of my friends earn more, live these lavish lifestyles. Well, part of the Rachel Cruz song, which was already there, is what is it? Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. Yeah, love your life, not theirs. So, and they drive nicer cars too. So, guess what? It's your money. You can do whatever you want to. Would you like to also be in the predicament that they'll be in? I mean, obviously, if they make more money, they could be making up for it, but they could also be spending money that they don't have to live the lavish lifestyles. So just looking for a pep talk through all this. You would be man up. You don't get to have everything that everybody else has. That is what we call life. So if you want to do the smart thing, the family thing, having a wife and child, guess what? You're going to retire one day. And so you need money for retirement. You need that emergency fund for emergencies. So, all that is more important than you being mad because you got to drive an older vehicle. So, I mean, you can move up in car if you want to after you finish the emergency fund, and after mom and baby get home safe because you shouldn't be doing even. I mean, I guess it's all the same. You're stacking cash, so basically you would be overstacking the emergency fund now, and then you would put whatever is left over, then you would apply that to next baby step. For example, you can invest you can max out 2023 investing up to tax day in 2024. So you have until around April 15th in order to do that. So it's all up to you what you want to do. So you obviously decided that was a good idea when you read Total Money Makeover. So why isn't it a good idea now that you are jealous of your friends? Yeah, I have urges. Whenever I have urges to spend, the AC may go out or car. Right. I mean, and you can budget whatever you want to. So, but you wait until after the emergency fund is full, and then you can do that stuff. Then you can budget that, and then you can even, if you can afford it, you can even save up a little bit to pay for to make up the difference for a little bit newer car. You can upgrade in car. You just have to pay cash for that difference. You sell your old car and you put together saved cash together with the amount that the old car brings, and then you can move up in car. But you know, if you want to follow Dave's advice, you're not getting a car on debt. And you're not getting a brand new car ever unless you're a millionaire. I just feel this might be leading to an uneventful life. Well, it's your choice. You know, I mean, there's a lot of whining. I mean, 29, time to stop the whining. Still a baby, but should not be a baby that still whines. So let's see, we're planning to not travel the first year the baby gets here much. That's a good idea. You don't have to travel every year. That is not a law. That is not a law for families to do. It's fun to do if you can afford it. But I would get started on that investing. And the more you do, the earlier you do, the more fun stuff you can do later. So, and it doesn't have to wait. Like I said, once you get the full emergency fund done and you're putting 15% into retirement, then at that point you can budget some fun things. Granted, at the same time, you're saving for kid college, and since the baby may not even be born yet, you can do $10 a month so far. Yeah, and you can just work on that, work on building that over time. You got 18 years unless the child is a genius, as said before. But if genius, then hopefully scholarships and such. Our car may break down. Stay the course. Yeah, stay the course. Uneventful life. Okay. Just feel like things are at a weird standstill where we're wrapping up baby step 3. That's because they are, because all your money is going into wrapping up baby step 3. That is how you do it correctly. So, and you don't have to do any of this. You're free to do whatever you want to, but somewhere back up in here, you read the Total Money Makeover. Unless it was a different book. Maybe it was something totally different that's not even by Dave. But I'm assuming you meant Total Money Makeover. And you decided it was a good idea to do. What makes it not a good idea to do anymore? You just don't want it, just whining a little bit, just venting a little bit. Because you can't have everything you want. I know. Nobody can. Not me. Not even Dave can have everything that he wants. All right, I clicked it. There it goes. So it goes this time. All right. Bratty Sis Squad. College Dilemma. Hi, I recently transferred to a 4-year university after my community college. All right. Currently, I'm technically in my junior year, but will have to take at least an extra semester, maybe 2, which you might not have taken the right stuff in community college then, because that's supposed to take 2 years off of your 4-year college experience. So if you take the wrong stuff, you take stuff that doesn't transfer, that kind of thing that can happen, and that's very important to look into to make sure you're doing it correctly. Living off campus right now until at least until is how that should go, not until at least. My lease is up in September 2024. My question is, this university is about an hour away from my parents' house, hour 20, with traffic. Okay, I'm debating on trying to commute that for next year and the year after. It would save me a ton of money, but it's quite the commute. You're the one that has to drive it. That is a long commute. How many days a week do you have to do that? I mean, if it's 3 days, that would be certainly more manageable than if it's 5 days a week. And what about working at the same time? I mean, that 2 hours and 40 minutes a day, you could be working instead. So probably not recommended. But it just depends on how many days per week that is and all the other extras. All right. Dear Plastic from Quality Host, how Sioux Falls CEO completed full circle Dave Ramsey moment. Okay. I'm not clicking on that. Oh, I see. It's a it's a link to click that I'm not going to click. Paid off our stupid tax loan of $26,000. That's great. Baby step 2 flare. Myself, 27, and husband, 36, have been paying off our dumb debts for 3 years. We have stopped using credit cards. Excellent. Both have 2 jobs and lots of side hustles. Excellent. Our income has ballooned and total debt paid off is at $290,000, and that's not house. Baby step 2 here. So that's not house. Here's this lab. Public student loan, $16,500 total. And monthly payment doesn't matter. Credit card 1, $12,000. Credit card 2, $4,600. Okay. Different amounts. What's the point? It's smallest to largest. Mortgage $335,000. That's what it. How much is the mortgage per month? Income. Yeah, making money. So high cost of living area. You may have to have side hustles for a long time. You may to have that income up. You got to make high cost of living money to live in a high cost of living area. You don't get a pass just because you were born there or just because you want to live there. You don't get a pass. Child care for 2 under 2. That takes a bunch. That takes a lot. Ulties probably means utilities. Gas and insurance, and 15 bucks a month for a fun thing. 15 bucks a month, that's not bad for a fun thing. Basics cost $8,000. So that includes the mortgage. Husband's car still owe $19,000 on it almost. Might have to sell the husband's car. Issue we're burning out. It's been 3 years of rice and beans, math that wasn't working, and a ton of stress. What goal do we need to hit before to start quitting jobs? What am I missing here? Critique, sell the car. And you know what you can do to chill, where you can chill? You can move to a lower cost of living area. So otherwise, I mean, you don't get a pass on the math. You have to make high cost of living income in order to live in a high cost of living area, in order to be able to afford it. So, I mean, all of the stuff is, I mean, it doesn't look like, I mean, there's so much loan. So the problem is you had $290,000 of debt, not including the house, not including husband's almost $19,000 car. So you still got a bunch to go. Let's see the student loans. 7,000. I don't know why they broke up the loans like that. Oh, they broke them up by individual here, but $200,000 there. That's just way too much debt. That's the problem. So the secret to living in a high cost of living area, while maybe not quite making high cost of living area money, is to not have any freaking debt. So that's what the problem is. So that's going to be, what is that going to be? That's going to be $500,000 worth of debt. Over $500,000 worth of debt they had. Paying off $290 of it is great. But, I mean, for that much, you could have paid off the house. So, it's just too much dumb. So, I mean, if you got to sell the house, you got to move out of that high cost of living area, so be it. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say, but if not, guess what? Keep working. If you want to live there, if it's worth it to you to live there, keep working. Or you don't have to, and you can just stay in debt the rest of your life if you would like to, buddy background. So, I mean, there's no easy way out of it. There's no easy button. There's no quick way to pay that much money off. Especially, and when you live in a high cost of living area, that just makes it that much harder to do all that stuff. And so you can't do everything all at once. You can't have everything you want. Nobody can. Aggravating fix, 1480. Is this too much car? If you got to ask, the answer is probably yes. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. My wife and I are, who is this? Yeah, aggravating fix. My wife and I are thinking about buying a new Highlander. Are you a millionaire? Reminds me of Pulp Fiction, which my son still needs to watch. Jimmy, let me ask that. Were your aunt and uncle millionaires? No. Well, look, guess what? Your uncle Marcellus was. Marcellus is. And I'm sure if Aunt Jenny and Uncle, I forget the name, were here, I'm sure they would want you to have a new bedroom suit. I'm an oak man myself, Jimmy. You like oak? Jimmy says, oak's nice, looking at all the cash. My wife and I are thinking about buying a new Highlander. Greetings, Highlander. But it's going to cost $55K. So, no, unless you're a millionaire, no. I've always pictured a Mercedes or something crazy when I imagine a $50K car. Is this too much for a car? Yes, if you don't buy a new car at all if you are not a millionaire. Our household income is around $240K a year. Doesn't matter. No debt except mortgage, and we can pay cash, but it feels like a stupid amount of money to spend. Yeah, you know why it feels like that? Because it is. So, I mean, this happens. People just like to, to think about it while typing it. And yeah, you know the answer. You know the answer. You just don't want to do it. Why is my phone? My phone has been blowing up. Sorry. Just be a second. Alrighty. See if that's the only thing. Alright. Okay. House debt dilemma. Hello, Dave Ram. This is from Prestigious Carpet 98. Hello, Dave Ram. I'm writing from the Great White North, but money and problems are still the same here. I've read Baby Steps and am very budget oriented. However, I'm in a pickle regarding the next 1.5 to 2 years in regards to buying a house. My partner and I are both 30, have combined 46K in student loans. Mostly interest-free federal loan, doesn't matter. And my partner, 9K line of credit, which we are aggressively paying off. 22K a month. Pay off debt smallest to largest. One of my loans is in grace period, also known as no payments required until May 24th. However, it is only 1K. Pay that off right now and get that out of your life quickly and get that win. Both of us are in healthcare, very stable incomes. We wish to purchase a home in the next 1.5 to 2 years. That's too bad if you still have debt. The answer is no on that. So you have to be out of debt, have your full emergency fund, and have at least, for a first-time home buyer, you have to have at least 10% down. You'll also have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance. And if you don't know what that is, that's not insurance for you. That's insurance for the lender if you don't pay the mortgage payments. So guess what? They're covered. They're fine with it. So of course they'll lend you all the money in the world to buy too much house. 1.5 to 2 years. That's great. Get that debt paid off. And save the full emergency fund. And save a down payment. I don't see how we will be able to pay off our debts, the baby step. Right, you won't. That's not going to happen in 2 years. So if you want to run your life by your wanting a house in 2 years, if you want to have that be the deciding factor for everything, so you can make a lot of dumb choices, that's up to you. Plus save for a home in the amount of, right, you cannot do it. I already was saying you can't do that. With baby steps, we could easily pay off our debt, but have zero down payment savings. Yes, and that's how it's supposed to work. Do we delay purchasing a home further? Yes. Both of us are ready to move out of my in-laws and start a family. Shouldn't be living there to begin with. Dave likes adults to live on their own. Or do we pay down our debts while still saving X amount for a deep payment? No, you don't save for a down payment. This has been a stressful few months for us. Any feedback would be appreciated. Okay, so I guess this episode is called You Can't Have Everything You Want. Nobody can, I guess, is what this is going to be. So let's see. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using that snowball. That means smallest to largest. I don't see in here where it says also save for down payment if you want to buy a house earlier than advised. It does not say that right there. So if you want to do that, you would not be following the baby steps. You would be doing your own thing, which is perfectly acceptable. But don't try to get it what you want to do that's not fitting in with the baby steps to apply in any way to Dave's advice, because it doesn't. You're not doing it if you do that. So it's, your life, your money, you can do what you want to with it. And Godspeed, which nothing but the best for you. But it doesn't work out well that way. That's why saving for a down payment is 3B right here, after you save the full emergency fund. You do not want to buy a house without a full emergency fund, because guess what's going to happen with a house when you own the house? The landlord doesn't fix your stuff that breaks. You have to do it. So 3 to 6 months, and probably if you were buying a house, 6 months would be it. So yeah, that might take you even longer. So sorry, you cannot have everything you want right now, Veruca. That's was it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reference? New movie that I think with Timothy, what's his name? Chalamet, something like that. He is in that. And it's coming out, I don't know if it's coming out before Christmas or not. I don't know. Maybe next year. All right. So yeah, you just can't. You cannot do everything. So you can either follow Dave's plan this year, millions of documented success stories. I'm sure there's success stories for people that haven't done this, but there's no documentation on those, so we don't know. This one we know. This works. Doing it this way works because it keeps you from doing dumb stuff. So that's why it works. So up to you. Peace and love, peace and love. And like I said, I mean, I don't wish ill upon anybody. So I hope it works out, but you're expecting too much. You're in fantasy land with thinking that you can do all this at the same time, and you can't. And I think you know that, and that's why you think it's a dilemma. It's not a dilemma. It's just up to you to make the choice. It's not a dilemma. You just decide if you want to follow Dave's advice. The kind that has millions of success stories documented, or if you just want to do what you want to do, and which means you would still have debt longer and may even purchase a house while you still have debt. Again, the problem is your debt. The problem's in the mirror. You got to fix it. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. What's the worst financial advice you've ever received? For me, it had to be finance a car because so I could build credit would be the correct word there. However, I did not do that, but instead bought a car with 160K miles. Did not need the dollar sign there. 4,700 pocketed a boot. 1,500 after registration was done. Okay. Worst financial advice I've ever received. Probably along the lines there of my parents were like, you will always have a car payment. You'll always have debt. Very, very Eeyore with them. And so probably that. Trying to think if there's any other ones. Oh, outside of the crypto bros coming in the Ramsey show chat and saying to buy the crypto flavor of the week. Maybe. Lately it's been Bitcoin. Because of the past year, it has gone up. You can't base your investing on 1 year. Instead, base it on those 2 crashes that happened. I went over that at the beginning of the show. Baby step 6. OG mini hitbox. All right. Baby step 6. My wife and I are not following the baby steps. Per se is 2 words. Per and then say. But are on baby step 6. No, you're not. If you're not following the baby steps, you're not on a baby step. So that's the problem. People, again, they don't follow the advice. They're not following the baby steps, but then they want to apply the baby steps to themselves anyway. I don't know why. All 40% into retirement. Part of this because our second child is on the way and we want my wife income, so we're making sure we can live without. You may still not be able to. You don't know what expenses are happening. You don't know. If we were planning to stay in this house forever or had a 7% loan, we definitely pay down the mortgage fast. Okay, whatever. However, owe $260,000 on an assumable mortgage. 28 years left, so tons of interest you're paying for too much house probably. House is worth $450 to $500K. We have property, but are not ready to build yet. So that means you have nothing. And if you don't sell it, that means you don't have anything that's going to help you. Interest rates so high, we're planning to sell our house and buy one closer to 10 from the amount we get from the sale. But you'll have the high interest rate if you do that. So I don't get that. Therefore, having a paid for house. Oh, I see. Oh, I got you. All right, so there won't be any interest rate. Okay. Is there any point in paying down? Yes, because you get it right back. You'll get it right back. And because you don't know, something could change. You might not be able to sell the house right when you decide to. So that'll still be less interest you're paying. You lessen the interest by the more you pay on it, you're lessening the interest. I understand how freeing up some cash flow would be good, and also, well, you do have to have enough to move to pay for the move. All right, let's click on it. Hopefully it's worth it, the clicking. Also, I'll be stacking cash regardless, just not in the house loan. That would, you shouldn't be stacking cash except for if you have not gotten your full emergency fund yet, which also you shouldn't be doing, putting 40% into retirement. And also they might be counting 20% her, 20% him, and thinking that's 40%. That could very well be as well, so who knows. Potential buyer may want the assumable loan to be a larger amount of the purchase price, right? Yeah, so you don't know. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what's going to happen. So the more you put into the money. I see. You're going to do that. Why not just sell it for what it's worth and not have it's assumable loan, but you don't have to have it assumable. I would look into that. That's none of their business what you owe on it. That doesn't give them a break on the amount of the house. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't give them a break on it. They didn't pay any of that. So I'm not giving them any discount on that, because that's a discount on your house being worth $450 to $500. That's dumb, so dumb. So, but I don't know if it's assumable loan. Maybe it has to be passed on. But why couldn't you just pay that assumable loan off with the proceeds from the house? You pay that off and move all at the same time. Weird. Don't know why it's taking so long. Need budget help. RJ Kimball 00. Need budget help. Okay. I'm trying to realistically look at what is mandatory for our day-to-day living. I have our expenses listed in the catastrophic event categories. That's called the 4 walls. It's not catastrophic. That's stuff you need, which is why they're called your 4 walls. Food, utilities, shelter, transportation, clothing. If something were to happen to my husband's job, I'm retired, okay? I'm wondering where everyone is putting prescriptions. Obviously, you would not want to take them. I've never heard Dave Ramsey specifically say where these should be recorded in your budget. That's a continuing expense, so you put them wherever you want to, as long as they're in there. And as long as you know how you categorize and where you put. You don't have a medical category? If not, you can just put prescriptions and make that a category. Also, internet and cell phone coverage, since almost no one has a landline anymore. Internet and cell phone, those are utilities. So thanks in advance. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're using a particular thing. I don't know what every dollar has in it, because I don't use that. I use a spreadsheet, so that has whatever I want to make in it. So it depends on if you're using budget software, whatever. And maybe it doesn't have the categories, but most of them will let you set up your own categories. So why not one for prescriptions or medical, or you can include it in the groceries or something like that. It's up to you, as long as it's in there, since it is an expense. You have to give a name to every dollar, which is why they call the budgeting app Every Dollar. All right, we're done almost. Hour and a half. Easy Gomer, baby step 6 flare. So the time is here to spend money from my home improvement seeking fund, and it's freaking me out a bit. Well, so the home improvement, unless it's if it's cosmetic reasons that you're doing it, you should pay the house off first instead of doing that crap. Pay the house off first before doing that dumb crap. Now, if you've got a bathroom that has a water leak or something in it like that, that's different. But that also doesn't give you an excuse to make, oh, instead of just fixing the sink, I will do a $50,000 bathroom or whatever. Even a $10,000 bathroom. Let's see, saved around 13K so far. Spent around 2,500 in the last week. It feels very odd, kind of nice. I mean, I'm excited about the new mattress set and my working washer and my repaired chimney. But then I look at my save. Well, okay, a working washer, that's allowed. New mattress, I mean, if yours is that old and it doesn't work anymore, if you don't get a good night's sleep on it anymore, like seriously, and you can't do without it until the house is paid off, okay, you put that in your budget and cash flow it, or do sinking fund for that. Repairing the chimney, if it is not working correctly, if it's leaking smoke or whatever, if it's a cosmetic issue, it doesn't matter, don't do it, pay off the house first. Then I look at my savings account and I get anxious. Yep, should. Tomorrow plumbing is coming to install a new sink, new faucet, and fix a drain pipe drip. So I'm sure I'll break into the 10K. Yeah. Why do you need a new sink? Why do you need a new faucet? If the drain pipe is dripping, that can be fixed without a new sink and a new faucet. So it just depends on what a need is. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. This is exactly what I've been saving for, so everything in my house works, and I don't have to deal with workarounds. I would deal with workarounds until the house is paid off. You can do what you want. You can budget what you want. I deserve this. You don't deserve anything. You deserve to have money. I work hard for this. I guess you could. So used to living like you were in poverty. Little duct tape on my front bumper. Yeah, what's wrong with that? That to spend money and have everything work well is an odd feeling. Yeah. Anyone else excited but also crying internally when they are writing these checks? I'm sure it's different for everybody. I'm sure people love it when they're on step 7 and they can do whatever they want with every cent. I'm sure they love it. You know, except for you're still investing, obviously, unless you need that money for retirement. You know, to live on during retirement. I'm sure, you know, I mean, you don't have to immediately go crazy just because you're on baby step 6. You don't have to do, and the home improvements, the ones you've mentioned, like I said, the mattress, okay, if you had a 20-year-old mattress, fine. You just budget it. Or you do the sinking fund like you've done. A working washer, if it wasn't working, get it working, or if it's about the same money or close to the same money, replace it with a new one. Yeah. Repair the chimney even. All right, let's assume that it would be a problem if it stayed unrepaired, if it could cause more problems. Sure, so why not? And so, but you don't need a new sink, new faucet to fix a drain pipe drip. And that's how people get in trouble, and it gets away from you. And that happens all the time to people. People call up and where that's happened. So, yeah. Generally, pay off the house before you do any cosmetic home improvements is the basic deal. Anything else you do a sinking fund for, or you cash flow. Put it in the budget. Help me. First time car buyer. Horrible loan. 22.9%. Well, so you see, if when you got the car, if you had heard of Dave Ramsey, you probably knew that he does not recommend debt. And he says pay cash for cars. And buy used cars unless you are a millionaire, which I'm guessing this person is not. Awkward average, 8732. Financed a car for the first time in late August of this year. I really didn't know how bad they could screw me over, but here I am. You see the interest before you sign the paper. So that's on you, my friend. If you didn't read it, that's on you, my friend. That was dumb, as you know, because you said it's a horrible loan. Absolutely it is. They gave me a loan from credit acceptance because I didn't have a line of credit, and maybe credit score not good, which is fine because you shouldn't have borrowed money to buy a freaking car. If I knew how horrible of a company they are, they're not a horrible company. You did not read the invoice or loan agreement or whatever. Geez, $22,522. Should you be buying that much car? No, you should not. Which is killing me. My loneliness is killing me, and my car payments are $553 a month, which I'm sure you can't afford that either. Even feel really dumb and naive about the entire thing, but I wanted some advice, see what I can do. Please help me. I'm a working single mom. All right, well. Working single mom, that's rough. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made them as well. And so what you can do is you sell that freaking car. Hopefully it has not depreciated that much yet. You sell that freaking car for as much as you need, and hopefully you can get a loan for the amount to cover the difference. When was that? Late August of this year? So yeah, that's only been a few months. So what you don't do is turn it in. Just turn it in and give it up, or have it repossessed or anything like that, because that's going to cost you even more money. So what you do is private sell it with private sale. A lot of people mix up sell and sale. And then if you can't get whatever you owe on it, whatever the amount is that you owe on it, hopefully it's gone down since then at 22.9% interest. It probably hasn't gone down much from that. Hopefully it's down at least to 22 even. And so you get a loan for 24 maybe, including, well, the 24,000 would include whatever you are selling it for. So you don't get a loan for that much. You get the amount the buyer is going to pay plus a loan for maybe $2,000 more than that. And then you get a $2,000 car instead, which is all you can afford. You can't afford a new car. You can't afford this payment. And so, yeah, really, really dumb. And so, and yes, Dave is fine with you replacing a $20,000 loan with a $3,000 or $4,000 loan. He's fine with that, because that's a way to pay off debt. Abbreviations, okay, and it gets you out of that car payment, which frees up $553 a month. All right, baby step 2, flare IRS debt. That goes to the top of the line in baby step 2. So you can get those jokers out of your life. My wife and I have a boot, $15,000 in IRS debt. Not good. We're in good standing, and about to get into a payment plan. All right, if you can't pay them any extra, then you just have to pay them for. You put the IRS debt first, but if your payment plan means you can't pay it off ahead of time, and which could be, never know, then you would just move on to the other debts instead, or pay monthly and get to it when it comes in the debt snowball. I can't remember what Dave says about this. Yeah, I don't think he would say if they don't let you pay it off, just save up that money first and just let that money sit. And then you would have all that money for all the rest of the payments. And you'd still have to wait all that time. I don't think he would advise that. So I think it's you just pay it. But otherwise, if you can pay it off early, you do put that first. He said that many times. Alrighty. Public World 1328, new high yield savings account for eFund. Hi, looking for feedback on the group's experience with high yield savings account. Looking to open one for our emergency fund. A lot of people want to do that. They want to make that money off of that money. I get it. And I'm having a hard time choosing between all the options. Need one that allows fast and convenient access. And that is more important than your 4.5% rate or better. Fast and convenient access. And so the problem with the emergency fund is that it does have to be 100% liquid. 100% liquid, I said. Again, emergency fund, Rachel Cruz always says at the live events, or used to, maybe they changed it, but she used to always say, repeat after me, not an investment. So, I mean, it's an investment in making sure you have money to cover emergencies, but it's not an investment that's making interest generally. Now, that being said, if you can find a high yield savings account that gives you a debit card to access the entire amount, then yes. If that gives you checks that you can write for the entire amount if needed, then sure, go ahead and put that bad boy in that high yield savings account. Read all the the fine print. That was a what was that called? Podcast that George Camel did back in the day. George Camel song in the music playlist. So yeah, it's got to be 100% liquid, because the problem is with the 1 to 3 day transfer, and if you have an emergency, it'll be 3 days, not 1. But the problem with emergencies is that they do not wait for the 1 to 3 days before they happen. Any chance to talk to Dave off the show, the sentiment analyst? Has anyone visited Dave Ramsey Center? It is called, what is it called? Headquarters Ramsey Solutions. And had a chance to talk to him. Okay, so, I mean, you're not going to get a sit down with him for 30 minutes, but he can talk to you for a few seconds along with everybody else that wants to talk to him. They go out into, I'm sure sometimes during breaks, they might have to go to the bathroom or something like that and can't. But most breaks, they go out into the lobby and talk with the people visiting. So yes, you can talk to him. You're not going to get a long chat with him, but yes, you can talk to him. And so there's even on the website, ramseysolutions.com/visit, if you would like to visit, and they will give you for all the kinds of information that you would need about visiting. And they will also do their best to let you know if Dave is going to be there when you do visit. All right. What would this ad? What would the world not? I don't get money for it, but I'm just curious about it. What would the world look without U.S. military interventions? Oh, I see. Germany has everything. You welk, Europe. Nemo fan 2020, is that Captain Nemo or Finding Nemo? Interesting. Credit card at 27%. Interest is 6%. Interest because of hardship program. Okay. Allied, past due. brought it back up to current, and asked if there's a program I can lower the monthly payment for a short amount of time. Currently, I owe $6,708 on the card. The monthly payment is $242 at 27.99 APR. So what you want to do, you see, is you want to get a credit card. You actually don't want to get any credit cards, but even if you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this no debt thing that this Ramsey guy, and also this nut on YouTube called Coach Steve Money recommends, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play with credit cards my whole life. You do not want to pay freaking 27.99%. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think happened, and definitely does happen in a lot of cases. Oh, I'm going to get a Ally credit card. Got a card. Okay, I'm going to pay off everything every month. Do you think that happened in this case? I think him saying it did happen. Him paying it off every month, did not happen. So there you go. And so I know you're out there, you're the exception. Oh, I won't have any problem paying everything off. But it can get away from you as it did from this person. All right, $242 at 28% interest almost. They do have a hardship program that I'm qualified for that will bring the monthly payment to $122 for 5 years, and the APR will be at 6% for the full 5 years. Only catch is they will have to close my account to be enrolled in the program. That's fine. You don't want to have debt anyway. You don't want to have any credit cards anyway. And guess what? Because it's late, your precious credit score is probably killed as well, which is fine because you don't need it. You don't want it for anything. Is this a better deal than, it's than, THAN, do not confuse, Aubrey, please, to leave the account open, or will closing the card hurt me more in the long run? Just started baby step 2, so wanting to do what it takes to help me out the most. What Dave would say is follow the baby steps. That means you pay off all of your non-mortgage debt, smallest to largest, as fast as you can. You do not have a life other than working and not spending money. You do not have a life. Every cent is going to paying off debt. No eating out. And so that would help you out the most if you just pay it off. You don't have to go into their program. Especially maybe when you sign in to go in their program, maybe that means you are locked into a certain amount of interest. Even if you have it paid off by that time. So, got to read the the fine print. Again, got to read the fine print. So, yep, time to stop doing stupid things. So read all the fine print about that. I mean, basically, you want to get it paid off as soon as possible, and that should not take 5 years. You need to work a lot more and spend. Using cash doesn't really count as spending. The logic of girl math and boy math, I don't remember reading that. Anything under $5 is free. I don't think so. Savings are earning, so I don't get it. Piece in the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, I think I clicked on that to see if there was anything more. I don't think there is. Done that one. Baby step order question. Yes, do it in that order. No exceptions ever. Now, if you have an emergency or something like that, you pause where you are, pile up cash, and then when said emergency goes away, if you have any piled up cash left, then you apply it to whatever baby step you're on. So it's either paused or this order. So let's see, currently in school full time. Since I'm still in school, the loans technically aren't due. No, you're paying for them regardless. You're paying them off. You don't skip those and go to step 3, even though they're technically not due. You don't do that. Using account sign-up bonuses to pay off my credit card debt. So you're going to open more accounts to pay off debt. Dumb. Don't do that. Stupid. Dave's every job pays $20 claim. Every job does not pay $20 an hour. I don't know that he says every job. I mean, he may be generalizing, but I don't. Every job obviously does not pay $20. So take his worst than his great mutual funds return take. Well, that's actually correct. That's actually correct. And he doesn't use the mutual funds return cake. He is using the index, which is provable, that has made 10 to 12% average annually. It has. Provable. You can look that up on the internet. It exists. Go right there. It doesn't say the average on here, but you can look there. S&P 500. And over its lifespan, it is up $2,791.31. And you can divide that by the number of years and see what that is. But yeah, average of 10 to 12% per year. Provable, not debatable. And the part about the mutual fund, managed mutual funds, because an index fund is a mutual fund, in case you didn't know that. But again, is worse, E here, not T. And lost my the T freaked me out again. Lost my train of thought. The mutual funds are, index funds are mutual funds as well, but the managed mutual funds can beat the index. So if you're too lazy to find good managed funds, or you don't know how, if you're unable to do it, every bit of information on every managed fund is on the internet. So if you take the time to look, you can find the ones that beat the index. And so if you're too lazy to do that, then that's fine. Make less money. Go ahead. That is fine with me. Alrighty. But but I agree. I have not heard him say every job pays $20 an hour. I have not heard him say that. So I don't know that he did. But every job does not pay $20. So that's just facts. Question about baby step order again. You do it in the order. Good morning. I have a question. I have a $32,000 HELOC at 0% interest and $42,000 car loan at 5% interest. Which comes first? The 32. I had the 0% interest. We don't care about interest. Smallest to largest. Smallest to largest. That would be what is called the debt snowball. That's what that means. The other way, the highest interest first, is called the debt avalanche, and that does not work as well. Scientifically proven that do not work as well. Because a lot of this is a behavior issue, not a math issue. Poopy butthole. Okay, 26. Is Dave just completely uneducated about SAISH, or does he make $1 a year or something? I don't get it. Yesterday's show, Dave provided Gordon from Flint, Michigan, to take Social Security benefits while working and invest it. There's only one problem. By doing so, he'll lose $1 in benefits for every $2 he makes over 21 to 40 for every. But by working, if it's a net gain, he may have needed it. For every year he foregoes, he'll foresee a 5% increase in benefits until full retirement age. Sure. I can't believe Dave recommended that because if Dave takes a $1 a year salary from Ramsey Solutions, that could be. A bunch of corporate people do that. Therefore, in his personal situation, it makes sense to take Social Security benefits immediately. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to listen to it, but it just depends. If Social Security is not going to be enough for that person, which is why you would have to keep working. That's the only reason I can think of that he would say that. So I don't know. I didn't hear that particular call, so do not know what the need was for him to keep working, even though he is retirement age. Maybe he said he just wants to work, and so if you are going to keep working, you may as well make the best net amount for it. And so that's the only thing I can think of that would be a reason to advise that. Pabos 420. What would Dave do? Flair, best book for someone who is borderline homeless. Total Money Makeover. Again, Total Money Makeover is going to be it, because that delves into the baby steps. Other touches on other things as well. But that tells you what you need to do. Borderline homeless, need a full-time job. Income is required to make the baby steps happen. So you can't make it happen without baby steps. Without an income, excuse me. Dave, I'm taking Social Security early. Another one. Advice was to do it because you could throw it in the market and get 10% returns. That is true. See, that's also what would be involved in that is if you are working enough and so that you don't need any of the Social Security money to live on. And so if you are working and also getting that Social Security early, then again, it's a net gain. So let's see, what's the reasoning? Understand 10% is an unreasonable market, right? Over 30 or 40-year time horizon. It's not even unreasonable in a market over the last, the last 3 years, because we're at a new high again on the Dow. So it doesn't have to be 30 years. You don't know the future. Anything could happen. Expenses could go up way big and the market could go down. Sure. But in a general sense, you want to make the most money. And making the most money would be taking Social Security early, which he doesn't need at all while he's still working. And so if he's going to still work, you take the Social Security and invest it and still work, and that pays all your expenses. So let's see, but aren't we talking about a very specific 8-year period? The market's up in every 5-year period. 862, Isn't that Social Security check growing 8% guaranteed for each year? Is it 8% every year? Are you confident enough? Dave is confident enough that it will do 10% plus returns. Yes, that you're willing to go 8%. Yes, Dave is. Absolutely, he is. So you can disagree. You can do whatever you want to, but Dave is convinced it will be. You know why? Because it has in his entire lifetime. Low Run 9807. Where I can find more about the investments Dave proposed. I'm relatively new to the show and baby steps. I already found good info in the budgeting, debt management. Missing the investment portion. I would like to read or get more knowledge on the type of investment Dave suggests. Thanks. Okay, so for retirement investment, Dave advises 25% split into the following categories. He says, what does he say? He says growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. Okay, and so what those are, not in the same order. I can never remember which one's which, but those are more commonly known as international is the same, but then small, mid, large cap. I think the aggressive growth is the small cap, although that's been the least profitable, like ever since the crash. That has been the least profitable, least return on investment there with the small cap. But yeah, so it's a 25% split. Those 4 ways. Last year he had his SmartVestor Pro run what would happen if he took out the international, because historically the international, although it still does make 10%, it is generally the lowest of the amounts. And he has managed mutual funds, so his mutual funds make more than the index. And so you want to get managed mutual funds that beat the index. And so he had him run the numbers if he did just a 3-way split and not doing the international. And turns out, at least during Dave's lifetime of investing, that he has more money with the international woven in. So that's why he said if the data said that it was less money with the international, that he would have changed the advice, but it doesn't, so he didn't change the advice. The advice is still the same. 4-way split. Now, he doesn't tell you exactly what funds to put it in. And he's not licensed to do that. And so you have to figure that out on your own, or you hire a financial professional to teach you how to find those. Or you just trust that financial professional and go your own way. But all the information you need is on the internet. Morningstar is a great website to compare mutual funds, and so you can do that. And again, the what you're looking at is you want it to at minimum make the same as the index, but you get the ones that make more. So that's the dealio on that. Invisalign, did that one already. Vacation, all I ever wanted. Ideas for what creative things you have done while paying off debt. It wasn't while paying off debt, but it was because I was watching my son. He was a child still then during paying off debt, and so could not work an extra job. But while I was doing step 3, on baby step 3, I got an extra job, and so I worked 4 hours, and then at Menards. They are, if you know, they're in the Midwest. Not familiar with them, that is a hardware store, about the same thing as a Lowe's or Home Depot, except they have I think a bigger food section at the Menards. And so I did that. Other than paying off debt, I mean, not really creative or out there, but we just didn't go out to eat that much, hardly at all. Just for such special occasions. So, but no, I can't think of anything like too outlandish or very creative. Sorry. I'm sure some people have. How many? 20 comments, so I'm sure there's some in there. Here for the bad choices. Well, that's not what we try to do with the Ramsey advice, but some people do post on here. These comments are bad advice. I don't know if anybody else is commenting on these posts here, and they may be giving bad advice as well. But I'm not, unless you think the Ramsey plan is bad advice. In which case, I don't know why you would be watching. Unless you're hate watching, which that's perfectly permissible. At the height of Howard Stern's career, at his height of popularity, he had more people that hated him than liked him. But guess what? They still listened, and that's what counted. That's the part that counted. So, hate watching is fine. And when you hate watch the Ramsey show, you're putting money into his pocket. So, good job. Just starting baby steps with my wife. Honestly, giddy with finally having an active plan. Yeah, I mean, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Especially if you are looking at, imagine not knowing about, like, there's these baby steps. There's this guy that has been getting people out of debt for 30 years, and you don't know that yet, and you're looking at all your debt and stuff, and you're like, what am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, how can I get my financial house in order? And then you see the baby steps. You might read Total Money Makeover, as I did. You might listen to some bald guy on the radio, and you might say, no, this makes sense. This seems like this will work. Now, you might be stupid like me, and in the 90s you think, well, this doesn't apply to me because I don't make $100,000 like all these callers do. And that's just stupid. You don't have to make $100,000. And what people can't, they just apply that $100,000 to their expenses and their debt. They don't apply it to the person that makes the $100,000 to their expenses and their debt. They're not thinking about that. They're just applying just the income to their life. They're not applying the extra expenses and debt too. So it's all probably about the same percentage, if not worse, from the people that make more money, because they think they make more money, they can spend more money. Like title says, just sat down with my wife, made a budget together. Excellent. Sounds silly, but having a plan is already so satisfying. It is. Makes me want to get to work, excuse me, and make some more money, even though it's 10:30 p.m. on the weekend. Yep, that's how you do it. Work more, spend less. Fixes everything. I hope we both keep the enthusiasm. Good luck to anyone on this journey that is reading this. That is excellent. Ready to sell rental home, but ... There are some people that say in the Ramsey Show chat and elsewhere, of course, never sell real estate. It's worth too much. That's not true. If you're in debt on it, if you have other debts, then yeah, you can afford it. Hey everyone, my husband and I moved into a new state in about 1.5 years ago. And so the problem there is, okay, so you're fine, you bought your house, and then you move. You didn't think for 1 second in your life before that point, oh, I should be a landlord. And so landlording is not for everybody, and you should not be one by default just because you're moving. Only if you want to be a landlord. And even for people that want to be a landlord, a lot of them do not like it. Moved to a new state about 1.5 years ago and decided to rent out our old home instead of selling it. And if you're not in the same state, guess what? You have to have a management company, or at least one guy to manage it. And guess what? That takes a bunch of your return, a bunch of your profit off of that every month, doesn't it? And then something can break, and then that takes more. So generally not worth it. We're currently renting where we live now. We did this to make sure our new jobs would hold out. Good idea. So you learn there. Some people don't learn until, especially military people, don't learn until after they buy 3 houses. And they're like, oh, well, see, I bought 3 houses and I got sent to a new duty station all 3 times. It might happen again. Maybe I better not buy a house. And to get to know the area first. That's right. Live there for 1 year before you decide you want to live there. We've come to a point where we've decided we need to sell our old home and use that to pay off our student loans in order to follow the baby steps. That would be a correct assumption. Good job. My question is, do you think we should use some of the money we make off the home for a down payment on a new home? No. The down payment doesn't happen. Saving for a down payment is baby step 3B. It's not written here, but here's where it goes. In between step 3 and step 4 is save for your down payment. So that means you already have step 1 done, and you've already paid off all non-mortgage debt, and you already have a full emergency fund. So you have student loans. You're in baby step 2, so you're not in any position to buy a house yet. So you pay off some of the student loans with what remains. No, you pay off the student loans with all of your money after you sell that house. Or should we use all the profit to pay off student loans completely? Yes. And then save for a down payment? No, first a full emergency fund first. And so unless if you have other debt, you got to pay that off too before you even do the full emergency fund. So looking for some different perspectives. Well, in my opinion, you only need one, and that would be, let's see, what forum are you putting this into? Oh, the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You might want to give a little bit of credence to the Ramsey's perspective instead of looking for some different ones. I'm sure you'll get people will say you never sell real estate, it's worth too much. You'll have people that say that. And you'll have people that say, yeah, no, be a landlord forever, even if it ends up making you have a net loss, which can happen if you need a new roof or something like that. So rentals to pay off primary, yes. Don't even need to read it. There's no situation that makes that not what you do. Because you buy cash, you buy rental houses in cash only. Dave is fine. He won't yell at you if you get a mortgage on a place that you personally are living in. But any type of business stuff at all, you do build businesses at the speed of cash, and that includes buying rental houses. So only cash for those. Silver percentage, 960 classic car. Should I get a loan to get a classic car? No, dummy. You don't get a loan to buy any kind of car. Baltimore Bobo, baby step 7. How much additional are you saving in terms of percentage? Are you doing an additional 10 to 15% in brokerage accounts? So baby step 7. So I can't say what I'm doing because I'm not in baby step 7 yet. Baby step 4 and 5. Investing and saving, still helping child with college. So I'm not there, but on step 7, it's the name of it is build wealth and give. That's the build wealth and give step. And so you can invest whatever you want to at that point. I mean, pretty much the only rule is to not go into a lower baby step. Now, an exception might be for if you want to save a down payment for the difference between the house you already have, the house that you have already paid off, and you want to save extra money for the difference to upgrade to another house, well, then you would go back to 3B and save that down payment. And then you are, I mean, even if you get another mortgage on it, then you'll be in step 6 again, and you'll have to pay it off early. Again, and that's how it goes. And hopefully you don't want to do that every couple of years. Hopefully the next house would be good enough for you. But this doesn't say this person wants a different house. But yeah, say, why not invest? If you don't need the money for any fun things or expenses, you can put that like the previous money that you were putting to pay off the house every month. You can invest that, yeah, unless you have other needs for it. And that can be on a monthly basis decision. Like one time you say you want to spend that money on a vacation, then you don't put that in a brokerage account. And basically brokerage account, people say brokerage account, they often mean that's a non-tax advantage account. So it's not a retirement account. Some people use them as extra retirement accounts, but that's not what that is, because my Roth IRA is in a brokerage account, Fidelity. So I like them, I recommend them, but if they go out of business, do not sue me. Some people like to do that. If companies you advertise go out of business through no fault of yours, They like to see you for some reason. Haven't heard anything about that lately. Are you doing an addition? Okay, so what else was I going to say about that? Got distracted by litigation. So yeah, so a lot of people say brokerage accounts, and they think that automatically means a regular investing account, meaning not retirement, not tax advantaged. Which you get the tax advantage having like the 401k, the Roth IRA, the government equivalent 403b. And so that's probably what this person means there when they say that. But my retirement account is in a brokerage. So, but that's what I'm thinking they mean. But yeah, you can invest whatever you want. That's called building wealth, is what that's called. And that is the gist of baby step 7. And don't forget to give. SS Son. Does a beater make sense? Yes. Getting a beater car for a few $1,000s. Yes. I question this. Is there so many times you get a beater and then you need a new tranny or water pump or something major, and that $2,000 beater costs you way more! Exclamation point. Well, the problem is you don't know in advance. It could be just fine. I bought a car for $1,750. Had my mechanic look at it. Turn the electric blanket down. Had my mechanic look at it, not a dealership mechanic, not the seller's mechanic look at it. I had my mechanic look at it, said it needed a new tailpipe, $250 for the tailpipe, and which my mechanic did for free in hopes of getting business for replacing something. Didn't make it up. The tailpipe indeed rusted, did have holes in it, so definitely needed to be done. So $250 on that. So altogether that cost me $2,000. It's been fine for 3 years. So there you go. But that's not in. See, the problem, my friend, is that you can buy a brand new car and then that still may need a new tranny. Stuff happens. Things break, even on new cars. And so the chances may be less, but you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, $2,000 for me, and it has not cost me way more than getting a more expensive car. So again, you have your mechanic look at it, not somebody else's, and you buy private sale from an individual, not from a dealer, because the dealer is going to get an extra taste, and so it's going to end up costing you more. Naval Cracker, $780, car insurance in Texas. My car insurance is literally killing me, and I almost touching the cost of my car note. That's a lot. Do you have a bad driving record? The state up north, Michigan, is the highest vehicle insurance in the United States. I have about 9 more months to pay off. Anyone know any good affordable car insurance in my market, Houston, Texas? So what you could do is you could shop around yourself on the internet probably, or you could call other insurance companies. So, I mean, it's got 10 comments, so maybe somebody lives in that area and told them, or gave them like a site that lists multiple. Boom, car question. Well, after 23 years, and we're still in 2 months ago, and I've already done 2.5 hours. Wow. Okay. All right. Is it? 2 hours and 14 minutes. Yeah. Wow. All right. Fun. So there's more. I had skipped more questions than I thought I did. Because normally I sort by new and just read from the top down until an hour at minimum, or until I stop running my mouth anymore. I guess I probably should now that I'm saying stuff like that. Abject advice. I don't know what abject means. Let's look for abject. Abject. It's fun to learn words. Abject. Of something bad experienced or present to the maximum degree. His letter plunged her into abject misery. Okay. So a lot. Completely without pride or an abject or dignity, self-abasing. All right. So it seems to be like it has a negative connotation to it, but it means a lot negatively, apparently. So, after 23 years, it's time to start looking at a replacement vehicle. 23 years, a good run. I have a boot, $10,000 put away for a car, and in debt free. Should I go to a dealership, or is it better to find someone who is selling privately? Almost always, private sale is going to be your best deal, unless your dealer just wants to get rid of it and for very, very little profit. But normally, dealer going to take a bite. Regardless, I plan to have my mechanic look at it first before I buy. Wow. This person heard me from the future, I guess. Good job. Yeah, you planned out your mechanic. That's great. That's awesome. That is, you know what? Gibbs Rule 39, I think it is. Let me verify. Yeah, Gibbs Rule 39, there is no such thing as a coincidence. Alrighty. Annual skirt 9921, baby step 5 flare. That's saved for kids' college, so they are already doing investing. While we have too much car debt, the idea of a beater needs to stop being used. It's fatal advice. False. Maybe you had bad luck. Maybe you got the wrong car. It can happen. That doesn't mean that it's legit fatal advice. Nope. Let's see. Typical accident where a Ford Trek T-boned early 2000s Crown Vic. The car didn't roll at all. Estimated speed 45. That doesn't... How does that have to do with that it's a used car? How is that different? Innovations of vehicles since 2015. So, that happens with new cars as well. T-bones do kill people in brand new cars when both are brand new. So that's a bunch of bull. What are Dave's credentials? Not a hater, genuine question. I think I answered this despite not clicking on it. He went into bankruptcy, had debt, went to bank, took out too much debt, went to bankruptcy, fought for 3 years to avoid bankruptcy, to try to pay things off. He paid off, I think it was 95% of the debt that he owed. And then they were going to come the next day to foreclose or something, or start taking stuff out of their house or something like that. And so then he filed bankruptcy. And so after that, he developed the baby steps and the general plan. At first, it was a general plan without an order. Fortunately, people kept asking him, well, what do I do first? What do I do first? And so then he came up with the order. But then he developed that. And so having been doing it for 30 years and having a very highly rated radio show and YouTube show, those would be his credentials. So, I mean, that's all the UT Knoxville real estate degree. I mean, that helps with general knowledge, but not with what he's doing on the air, mostly. I mean, real estate becomes involved a bunch of times, but that's like the other people don't have real estate degrees there, and so not necessary to work there, and not necessary to develop the plan, but it doesn't hurt. So that would be his credentials. Also, probably the most impressive credentials, as I said, millions of documented success stories over the 30 years. Millions of different families. I know no other financial advisor has anywhere near that track record. Nobody. Definitely not the crypto bros or the debt leverage people. Alrighty, unfair control 9377. Go about 10 more minutes. Do a 2.5 hour show. Beater car for the win. See, I'm here to combat the beaters are dangerous. Okay, maybe the person below was mad about this post, maybe. So no need to go to that subject again. 22-year-old living in Canberra, Australia, mate. I've been listening to Dave Ramsey for a little while now, and I believe I'm on baby step 3 without even knowing it. If you don't have debt and you're saving full emergency fund, then yes, you are. I have about 45. They don't say that there. I say that in Canada. 4,500 saved up, no debt. I want to start being frugal. Hopefully you already have been having a real budget and saving towards a house. Okay, make a budget. That's where you spend every dollar in your head on purpose, on paper, on purpose, or in an app. You know how the kids are, gotta have the apps. Then you have one, you can try every dollar. I didn't like it, so I just went back to my spreadsheet, hashtag Google Sheets, free. I don't care if Google knows my budget, that's fine. Having a real budget and saving for a house. Yeah, you got to do that. You don't ever stop having a budget. Dave Ramsey still has a monthly budget. So yeah, you just do that. Follow the baby steps. So after the full emergency fund, that's when you can start saving. So you don't do both at the same time. You don't fill the emergency fund and also save towards the house. You finish the emergency fund first, and then separately you don't spend any of the emergency fund as part of that down payment. Then you save separately on a down payment. Cool. Inconvenience. I may have talked about this before because it's a short one. Yeah, I think I did talk about it. Basically, yeah, it's with emergency fund stuff, a lot of stuff immediately becomes just an inconvenience instead of emergency. That's the point of that one. I think I did this one too. Again, how much is too much to pour repairing a car you own? The problem is you don't know what's going to happen if you repair that car. You don't know what other problems it's going to have. If you stop putting money into that one and you buy another used car, you don't know what's going to happen with that one. So, I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot, but you just try to keep it as low as you can in either situation. 23 male with great financial health. Do I maintain investment possession or pay off my student loan? Well, if the investments are in a retirement account, then you do not cash them out. You stop contributing just for a hashtag season, and that doesn't mean 3 months, that means a short time, while you pay off the student loans, and then you can start investing again. If they're all in brokerage accounts, cash out and pay off the student loan. Let's see, 14K, 10K, and blah, blah, blah. Those are index funds. I generally live off of 50 to 60% of take-home pay. Not bad. Probably could be better. I just received an investment account worth $10,500 from grandfather. So if that's not, yeah, pay off the loans. Today. Already. 2 months ago. Pay off. Go back in time, pay off the loans if you didn't. The boomer wealth transfer myth. I saw articles about this as well. I didn't read any of them about the great. Supposedly there were going to be a bunch of in 2024. There's supposed to be an incredible amount of. I guess they're anticipating deaths, and that will have the boomers transferring wealth to the younger generation. I'm sure a lot will just spend it. Days path to wealth. Let's see, I did this before, but I'm interested in it still. How Dave built traction on his wealth after bankruptcy. He cash flowed everything. Yeah. Putting money in index funds and cashed it out. And that's how he saves. And he doesn't recommend index funds for retirement, but he does recommend that for saving for a purchase, such as a rental property. And the reason is because you got to have 5 years to be sure that the market is going to be up right when you need it. You have no such worries in retirement because that's going to be 30 years down the road or more when retirement happens. If you're doing it right, if you don't wait too late to start like I did. So don't do that. But yeah, so that's exactly what he did. Then rolled the rental income into, right, yeah. And repeat, that's what he did. Yep, house prices were completely different. That doesn't matter. That doesn't change the advice. You build any business, including rental properties, at the speed of cash. What should I do with 50K? I think I read that one as well. What you do with any money is you apply it to whatever baby step you're on. What kinds of segments do you wish they did? I probably talked about that. A bunch of people want closure on things. They want updates on it, and that'd be great. That seems like that would be, that would have to be like almost a whole other department that would have to handle getting like on callers and even on people that have taken the class to keep track of them and then contact them later for a update. But a lot of people want that. Because most times, every so often, a person will call in twice, or they will keep track of somebody on purpose. Like I'm assuming if the screener wanted to, or if Dave wants to, one of the hosts wants to, they would keep the caller's information and then reach out later to get an update. And they have had update on some of them, but they don't do that consistently. So, but yeah, generally you don't get to find out what happened. Also, you don't know if another person is involved, spouse or whatever. If another person's involved, you don't get their version of the story either. So you just get one side and no closure, and that's talk radio advice for you. 401k to pay off debt. No, you do not pull from 401k to pay off debt. What would you do financially? I probably did this one too. 70K to debt. S on that. Two is plural. What would a smart financial decision to do? Pay that debt off as quick as you can, and then save for money to move. Oh no, you 70K in savings. You pay those off today and move. Easy, because you have money left over to move and even enough for a 3-month emergency fund. Probably. So, yeah, you do that today. So, go back in time 2 months ago and do that. I probably did that one as well, I think. It sounds familiar. Vehicle issues again. Time is all right. So, that's 2.5 hours. So, that's pretty good. I know I talked about that one, Rachel and Dr. John Deloney's event. I think other personalities were involved this year as well. I believe. Trade down to Dave Carr. Lost time, value of money. I did talk about that. Alrighty, so yeah, I guess we'll call that one a stream. Again, 7 baby steps. Learn it, know it, live it. All right, and who am I? I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free, yes, free, no strings attached, I promise, financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That's CALENDOY. Link is in the chat in front of your face right there, and also in the video description below. You can email me about coaching or anything in my YouTube channel at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Also, that appointment is video conferencing, so you can do that from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in Arkansas to do that. Channel donations, go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Not monetized yet, hoping to get there. Hit some milestones this week. Not there yet, but hoping to get there. I mean, I love doing it for free so much. I would love it even more to do it for even $5 a week. That'd be great. We'd love it. So any donations, much appreciated. If you're paying off debt, do not do that though. If you don't have your full emergency fund, do not donate money to me. Add me on the gram at Coach D Money. And the YouTube channel is, of course, youtube.com/Coach D Money. Upcoming streams, again, Tuesday, December 19th. That's this coming Tuesday. Ramsey Show After Show, and that's my own show that I do after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends, approximately a little bit after 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This show is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money, and this is episode number 50. And I do this normally Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I started an hour early today because I knew I was going to do a longer show because it felt like running my mouth. I haven't run my mouth enough this week, apparently. What else? Curse of Oak Island, no cap recaps, late nights on Tuesdays. I'm also working on retro recaps. I'm doing like 2 to 3 episodes at a time per recap of the older seasons. I am up to season 5 now. So season 1 through 4 and 9 and 10 are done. And so I just have to do 5 through 8. So I'm working on season 5 now. And so those come out whatever day I have time. Pardon me. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, also on the after show on this Tuesday, December 19th, I will be debuting the full version of the Rachel Cruz song. You can listen to my other Ramsey adjacent songs in my music playlist, and that song will be in there Tuesday evening after that show is over, and I can cut that bit out and add it as a separate video to the music playlist. And I think that's it. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to everyone out there. Hope you are having a good time. And what do we say here at the end? Oh, we say, it's written right there on the screen. Make smart financial decisions every day. Please like, subscribe, and comment, not necessarily in that order. And thank you so very much for watching. Much appreciated.